Oh my, does this mean your gentlemanly facade is crumbling? Now that I'm your prisoner, I wonder what you're going to do to me. Are you going to bind my limbs and throw me in solitary, chop me into tiny pieces like what happened in China? What? No, I'm just referring to your promise to temporarily cooperate with us. Though that's not to say we won't take precautions. I trust there won't be an issue letting her out of here along with Theravada. I highly doubt it, not with Rama, Ganesha, and Lakshmi all keeping an eye on her. Once we have our safety measures in place, I believe our most prudent course of action would be to act on this new information. Her and Pepperoncino are gonna combine together and, try to stop us at the end. And of course, when the situation calls for it, we would like you to assist us in battle. At the moment, I believe that covers the manner of assistance we expect from you. Well, I can't promise to be too much help in combat, but I can certainly fight well enough to protect my own life. And if you're treating me as a guest rather than a prisoner, I'll agree the information I shared doesn't cover my fare. So rest assured, I'll be glad to work off the rest. I certainly don't want to be in the debt to humans after all. Well, if nothing else, at least we made it through another cataclysm unscathed. I think we've all earned a little break today, so why don't we kick back and relax while we wait for the outside world to stabilize? If all goes well, maybe we'll even be able to settle everything during the next Yuga cycle. That is a lot of talking. Oh, so you're the one I heard on the transmission? I go by Captain right now, though that name has no particular meaning. Not that I have any other more meaningful name to go by right now, anyway. Good to meet you, Captain. You don't have to tell me, I know who you are. Do you mean we've met somewhere before? Of course not. What makes you think that? I guess it would be your scent. My scent, huh? Well, I guess I can understand that more than I could if you said my appearance. Anyway, I'm afraid I have a lot of work I need to get back to. You should rest now while you can. I wonder why he's avoiding me. I don't remember wronging him. Although that look in his eyes, was it nervousness? Fear? No, wait. I think it was guilt. Yay, first day! Yay, yay! All we're gonna accomplish is about the man. Phew, I don't think I've ever been so happy to see the sky. There really is something about seeing it for the first time in a while that appeals to even a die-hard shut-in like me. I thought you were the type who never left the room no matter what. Really? Now, how would I get food or go to the bathroom? Of course I gotta go out when I gotta. I always enjoyed the early mornings when I have to run down to the convenience store to replenish my snack supplies after fighting a massive raid boss for 3 days straight. The way you could still see the stars as the first rays of sun started to creep over the horizon was just divine. Well, maybe it was those spiritual morning walks that made Ganesha choose me for his vessel. Yeah, probably not. A 3-day raid boss fight? What the fuck were the devs thinking? What game does that? Whew, like World of Warcraft? My apologies for the seemingly endless string of familiar instructions, but I would like you all to start by returning to Bichu as usual. Let's get going then. Got it. Ah, what a perfectly peaceful little human town. It makes me positively nauseous. So, what's the plan here? You do have a plan to take down that spoiled brat turned god, don't you? We're gonna tear him off his divine throne and bring him down to our level, starting with this town. Now that these people have fought their way through a Kali Yuga, there should be even more of them on our side. Once we've convinced this town he isn't a god worth worshipping, we'll move on to other towns until he's weakened enough that we can defeat him. A god boycott campaign, I can see the sense of that. At least theoretically. Even though we're in the peaceful Krita Yuga right now, something feels off. I feel it too. Does this town seem weirdly quiet to you too? Definitely. Woohoo! I mean, everyone fought back. Hey guys, I'm kind of worried about Asha. Remember she said her dad was injured? Maybe we should go check on her first. Of course, I was just thinking the same thing. I think her house was over in that direction. Let's go see her. Everybody's gone. There's her house. Thank goodness it's intact. Why don't we take a peek inside through the window first to see how they're doing? That means he doesn't just erase the towns too while he's at it. There's candles and all sorts of yummy looking things on the table. It looks like they're celebrating something. I'm so glad we all made it to the Krita Yuga to celebrate your 4,000th day of life, Asha. Me too. A lot's happened over the different Yugas, more than I can even remember. I was worried how things were going to go when we first took you in. But you've grown up to be a wonderful little girl. Though you know, it's strange. I know we've been here since way back. But this house still doesn't feel like our home. Maybe it's just too big for us? I was just thinking the same thing. Maybe it's time we thought about moving. I think there's another house we could live in not too far from here. But we don't need to think about that now. Today's your special day, and we're gonna celebrate. Go ahead and eat anything you want, okay? Okay. Aw, what's wrong, Asha? You don't look very excited. Auntie? Doesn't it feel like we're missing someone important? Huh? What do you mean? Now look what you made me do. I'm sorry, are you okay? You dropped a dish over a little question? You're such an Ulu. There it is again. It feels like someone else should have said that. It feels strange that nobody's saying it. Yeah, it really feels like there ought to be someone else here with us. What an odd little girl you are. Who would that possibly be? You know it's always been just the three of us. Yeah, I know, but I can't help but feel like I made a promise with someone. Someone who said they'd celebrate with me and patted my head, telling me how much I'd grown. Huh? Am I crying? Well, that's a funny surprise. This is supposed to be a happy day. Yeah. Mash, pull yourself together. Did I just push her? I'm okay. But Senpai, this is just... Let's get out of here. Right now, I don't think even I could look Asha in the eye and smile. She said his leg was injured. Is that why? A little thing like that? That's just like what happened to Vihan. This is horrible. I don't even have the words for how horrendously wrong all this is. Oh no. Does this mean? Lakshmi, where are you going? Her entire town. They're not here. Her people. Hey! Oh, hello. Is everything alright? Would you like to come to my house and have a glass of grape juice? Forget about juice. What happened to all the people in the town hall? Huh? What do you mean? You know damn well what I mean. I'm talking about the people who came here from Duval. There were dozens of people living here while they tried to find new homes. I'm very sorry, but I truly have no idea what you're talking about. Nobody has ever lived in the town hall. Damn it. You poor thing. I don't know what you're talking about, but I can tell you've been through a lot. Well, if there's anything I can do to help, please don't hesitate to call on me. Good luck. Damn it. Damn it. Just refusing to obey is a sin now, you false god? A crime so great you throw them all away like they're worthless? It seems we were too lax in our assumptions. Given how removed Arjuna is from this world, I assumed he would never bother to personally determine the so-called effectiveness of individual persons' actions. Especially since we knew Duval continued to exist across years even after they began fighting back. That sounds right to me. If we're just talking about Arjuna himself, I'm sure he would consider changes in the little people's faith as trivial matters beneath his notice. But he has a certain advisor at his ear, one who loves nothing more than snitching. And I can't see that slimy, devious monk not taking the chance to rat these people out. As I recall, you mentioned him on the border as well. It sounded as though you and he are on extremely poor terms. Oh yes, he's a wonderful shitty monk. Wonderfully shitty monk. As for who he is, well, you'll find that out when you meet him yourselves. So it's his fault these people disappeared. No, it might be mine. Lakshmi? It might be because I helped them, because I lit a fire on them, because I drew the false god's attention to them. Maybe I'm the reason they were eliminated. They might have been erased as though they never existed because they got caught in my cloud of bad luck. Lakshmi. No, that is not my name. I've been lying to you this whole time. Everything that's gone wrong is my fault. I knew I should have stuck to fighting on my own. What are you talking about? You're not making any sense. The god that resides within me is not Lakshmi. What was that? Me, the goddess of happiness and prosperity? What a joke. I'm the exact opposite. I bring adversity and tragedy wherever I go. I'm the embodiment of things everyone should avoid and despise. The real name of the goddess within me is Al-Lakshmi. Lakshmi's older sister, the goddess of bad luck and misfortune. Fucking weakened, strengthened. I mean, the same number of people have faith regardless. You're supposed to be weakened because you're low on worshippers, because you keep killing anyone that could eventually come back to worship you. It's true, those two sister gods are more alike than shrimp and prawns. Ah, Lakshmi, that's the goddess of misfortune. Lakshmi's direct opposite. You're saying that's who you really are? She is still the source of power lacking in consciousness, as I told you before, but yes, that is who I really am. So that's why I was never quite able to sense my beloved Sita's Lakshmi inside you. Part of it is because she's only a source of power now, and part of it's because they are sisters. No wonder I never got more than a vague impression of the divinity inside you. Why didn't you tell us this sooner? Lakshmi's request was simple. She conveyed to me that she wanted to help her sister trapped within the false god. Okay, so what's the problem? That's one of our goals too. But who would ever want to join forces with the embodiment of bad luck and misfortune? I've been using you for my own ends all this time. I thought you would refuse to help me if I was honest about my identity. And that would make it harder to achieve my goal of defeating the false god and rescuing Lakshmi. Some leader I am, I'm just a foolish woman steeped in lies and deception. Now those people were erased without a trace, and all of your hopes are dashed too, and it's all my fault. Nah, you're wrong there. They were gonna get erased either way. Foo-foo! I understand that you're really Lakshmi, but you're still wrong about the rest. Senpai and Pepe are right. You didn't erase Ajaj or the people at Val. Arjuna did. You can't blame yourself for this. Indeed, are you gonna insist that every last bit of bad luck we've had is actually your fault? Because even for a goddess of misfortune, that would be going a bridge too far, Lakshmi. What? We're fighting for the fate of this entire world. Your luck can't possibly affect that, no matter how bad it may be. It is our skill and responsibility alone that will determine the outcome of our fight, just as it always has before. So the only limits I'll allow from you are clumsiness and the way you constantly stub your toe and squirm in agony. If you thought we hadn't noticed, you were gravely mistaken. Woo! Woo woo woo! So, if you're finally done playing guessing games with it where the answers are obvious, it's about time we started planning our next course of action, no? Agreed. Truth be told, I had already formulated a hypothesis as to who Lakshi's true divinity might be. Lest we forget, the power she demonstrated during the first battle of Oriental is clearly nothing but a goddess of fortune would possess. Oh yes, that reminds me. I don't sense value anywhere, so it seems Mr. Tell didn't make it to the Suga, did he? Though I can't say I'm surprised, given the resistance he put up at the end. I'm considering that a highly probable possibility as well. Given how bravely he fought last time we saw him, I'm not sure if I should regret we were unable to have him join us. I'll be glad that at least a bit more of Arjuna's power is now gone. Okay, in light of all that's happened, we need to figure out new plans, starting with wrong. It's obvious now that we were severely underestimating the extent of Arjuna's ability to erase things he considers effective and remakes the world. Hard as it might be to believe, we know now he can get rid of his entire communities if he wants to. Maybe he came up with some way to simplify it, like assuming anyone who takes up arms against the cloud is effective. But either way, now that we know he's capable of mass removals like this, we should probably assume that the more people stand out, the more likely they are to be erased. So what you're saying is, our plan to turn more people against him and drag him from his godly throne isn't looking too good anymore. So what, we're just gonna accept this is how things are here? We're gonna give up on defeating him? No, absolutely not, Master. You better believe it. Let's just go kill his Vathaman. I don't care if this world, its god is the one behind it. No one should live in a world where they could be erased like this. Woo! Let's figure out our next plan. Couldn't agree more, Master. We may be back to square one again, but so what? As for you, Queen who has slightly worse luck than most people, I have no desire for you to wander about in sackcloth and ashes being so terribly morose. Who is going to benefit from your doing such a thing? It's an utterly pointless endeavor. Now that we know our old plan won't work, we need your help more than ever in coming up with the next one. Will you help us? Will you continue to fight beside us, just as you have till now? I second everything Rama said. Let's just say you're not the first complicated goddess we've had on our team, and compared to some other companions that we've had, a goddess of misfortune is nothing. Alright, now that we've reaffirmed our intent to continue onwards, I would like to begin discussing specifics. Does anyone have any information that would give us a good place to start? I'll get right to the point. I can think of one thing. Oh, what's that? Asvathaban, there's something wrong with him. Yes, I think we all saw that for ourselves, Rami, darling. Care to be a little more detailed? I'm afraid it's difficult to explain. All I can say is when we ran into him during the last Yuga, it felt like there was something fundamentally different about him compared to the other Lokapala. At least one of you has an eye for detail. Disposing of a Svathaman is something I totally endorse, especially as I have my own grievances with him. I like nothing more than for all of you to beat him within an inch of his life. But we still don't know how to deal with his regenerative powers. Fighting him like that was fighting an immortal. Exactly. He is immortal. That's why he has no choice but to do what Arjuna says. What do you mean by that? Oopsie, now I've gone and said too much. Let me just go ahead and zip these lips right back up. Anyway, I do think it's worth a shot if you like. I could even tell you where he is right now. Hold it, I appreciate the proposal, but I don't trust it. Chloe and Sky can only be trusted to lead us into a trap. What? And here I made a proposal with the very purest of intentions. I guess this means you still haven't forgiven me after all, Your Excellency. Sniff, sniff. Why in the world would I forgive you when you haven't shown the slightest sign of repentance? Did that sorry do something to your brain, beautiful? Just kidding. Alright then, I'll go ahead and give you the data you'll need to track Svathaman down. Just to be sure of the results, why not conduct the research yourselves? True, that would be safer, though it will mean we need to walk around ourselves to pick up a signal. That's just a trade-off we'll have to make for security. Even if it takes a little longer, it's a lot better than walking into a trap completely defenseless. Alright, now that our next goal is decided, let's go find us Svathaman and take him out quickly. Don't worry, once we find him, just let me handle everything. I think I know what's going on with him now, so the next time we meet, I'll see if I'm right. Archers, and all I have is sabers. Let's do this. I really should get Sessioin out of the party. Svathaman. Wow, it takes 3 days? 4 days? Jeez. There you are. That's my line. But what's this? Well, what do you know? I can't believe the quarry that got away from me came back of her own accord. I'm so happy it's actually pissing me off. I appreciate you reacting exactly how I thought you would. You must have known the Chaldeans were hot on your tail, yet you couldn't ignore my aura and couldn't resist waiting around for me to show up. I'm so glad you're as simple-minded as you look. Now let's get to our grudge match, shall we? Oh, but do be warned, you'll be facing Theravada and your team this time around, and they're very tough cookies. You see, they do this ungodly annoying thing where they get stronger and stronger each time they do battle. I never could tell whose side you were really on, woman. Let me ask you this, Svathaman, would you be willing to tell us your whole story? What was that? I'm a generous king, and I can tell what others are truly thinking. I promise I will neither laugh at you nor look down on you. What do you say? Every one of you just makes me so friggin' furious. I don't even know what you're talking about. What are you doing, Rami? I thought you said you could handle him. I thought I could, but it seems this problem is not as easily solved with words as I hoped. We'll just have to pin him down and have him cool off more naturally. So we're gonna have to fight him after all. I will help you, but what I said before still holds true. Do not rely on me too much. There's no telling when my poor luck could result in a fatal error. But you can control it at least a little, right? Like you did when you got all of Tel's arrows to hit you? A little, yes, but there are some areas that are still out of my control. Not to mention that the recoil from that time is probably... Oh, Svathaman, you really are an awkward boy, aren't you? You mean like the opposite of how you strut around in these fancy clothes of yours, ex-master? Well, I'm certainly less awkward than you. I keep my life nice and simple by doing whatever it takes to stay alive. Of course, that still leaves the question of what I want to do with my life once I keep it. It's not easy being human, you know. We always want more. Guess you really must be a droid if you can say that sort of thing with a smile. Maybe I am kind of awkward by comparison. All I got going for me is my anger, so it's only naturally that the anger become my entire life. Living my life makes me angry, and my anger gives me a reason to live. Yeah, I know it doesn't make any sense. Just like I know that the moment my anger dies out, I won't be me anymore. So as long as I'm still kicking, I got no choice but to keep my fury burning, to keep burning my whole damn life. Okay, have fun with that. You'll eventually burn out. Ooh, I did that a little early. Well, that's not great. Is this guy attack with exclusively Buster cards or something? Jeez, I heard. What was that ability? Bonus effect with Buster, defense down, reducing enemies' defense when attacking with Buster cards. Cool. Let's just activate that. Single target Noble Phantasm, that's good.
美味しくいただくっすよ。ひぎぽっしゃりのもんさーいちょありがたいフラッシ
リラックスリラックス。
これもエコー観念なさいまし。
ハッピーエンドの話をしよう。
サイドの日取りでございます。
星の宇宙モノリ楽園の端から君に聞かせよう。罪なき者のに通るガーデン・オブ・アバロン。
ようこそ私のたまりません。アミダアミディヘブンズホール。ガネーシャさんは私にもっと輝けとささやいている。ガーネッシュインパクト。朝からお知らせして
戦士の誓いはとうに消え、我らはただした。失踪するがいい。